All right, so we will go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Welcome to the second episode of Work from Home. And so this is a series that I started like yesterday, actually. Yesterday was episode one. And the idea behind this series is to just enable people to understand technology that helps them work from home better, collaborate and communicate with other people without really being in an office setting. So yesterday we actually looked at just an introduction to Microsoft Teams. In case you are watching this, it's actually being broadcasted in Teams. Microsoft Teams is an amazing tool that allows either two people or multiple people to just get together and communicate with each other and just collaborate on projects and events and things like that. So we went through we did like an overview of Teams yesterday, and if you're interested, there is a video to it on YouTube. I can post a link to that as well. But so yeah, we looked at the overview, just a high-level introduction to Microsoft Teams. What I want to do today is kind of take that a little further and just show you a few other things that you can do in Teams. And one of the things is screen sharing, right? So whenever you are working with multiple people, typically there's a need to kind of look at the same things, and the same things may be either on a whiteboard that you are using to brainstorm and draw and write, etc., or you may be looking at something on someone's computer screen. So if I have a need for showing someone what I'm working on, or maybe discuss something, or have them look at a PowerPoint that I'm presenting or I need to present, and these people don't happen to be around me, right? So they're all in different places. So they may be in different parts of the same city, or even they may be around the world. So it doesn't really matter. The location doesn't matter. So, if there's a need for showing something on your computer, that is possible. There is a screen sharing option in Microsoft Teams, and that is available in. So there's a bar in the middle of Microsoft Teams, right? And I don't know if you can see it right now. And I mean, obviously, I'm not sharing my screen, but if there's a need for you to share your screen with other people, just know that the bar in the middle, there is a button right in the center of that bar. It's like an up arrow inside a square. If you press that button, well, first of all, if you just hover your mouse pointer over that button, it tells you, it gives you a tooltip and it says share. So you know that that's what you need to press for sharing. But when you click it, this is where you get an option to show either specific windows or screens. Okay, and so I can just choose my screen right now so that you can see everything. So now you will look at possibly everything that's available on my computer, right? So all the windows that are open, you have access to all of them. So now I can start showing you things. So for example, so these are windows from my demo yesterday from the episode one. But if you have a need for, let's say you're teaching something, you're a teacher and you're teaching math. So you may go to a certain website and you may just navigate to a certain course and start teaching. You probably have a business where you are baking something for people or cooking things for other people, and you want to discuss some recipes. That is what you can do here as well. So it doesn't really matter what you're doing. The idea is that you are actually sharing your screen and presenting to someone, discussing things with them, and involving in a discussion, right? And getting things accomplished. So this is like a browser, but also, I may be going through a PowerPoint. So this is a PowerPoint right here. And this is how I collaborate with other people. Now, as I'm doing this, in many cases, these conversations are pretty quick, and we don't need to necessarily probably come back to what we are presenting. But there are instances where, like, if I'm presenting this, someone else or I myself may need to come back to this video and look at it again. So for those reasons, there is the option to record your session in Teams as well. So again, I don't think you'll be able to see it, but the same bar in the middle in Teams, there is those three ellipses, right? The three dots. So if you click on them, there is a start recording button, right? And when you click start recording is when the whole call starts recording. Your entire screen and what you're saying, everything gets recorded. And then once you're done with the call, you can just click stop recording, and that's when it completes the whole video and stops recording it. Now, what happens after that, though, is what's really like interesting and amazing. So once you have stopped recording your call, you don't have to worry about storing it somewhere, because it knows that the video that you just recorded, it belongs to a certain meeting or a certain chat, right? And it associates that recorded video with that meeting or chat. To show you an example, if I go into my chat here, so this is from yesterday, right? So this is the Teams introduction and sign up webinar. I presented the whole, content. And before I started presenting, I also recorded my session. At the end, I stopped recording, and immediately within a few minutes, it processes the whole video and then it stores it right here. So see, it says meeting ended, and then here is someone's waiting to join, I guess. Okay, 1 second. I need to let someone in. All right. Wow, how do I go back to my lobby? Okay, here, let me, Douglas, okay. All right, so yeah, as I was showing, hi Douglas. So yeah, coming back to my chat here. So I recorded this session yesterday, and I started the recording, I stopped it, and immediately it shows me the video right here, and it associates it with that conversation or meeting, right? So now I don't have to worry about storing this video somewhere. I just know that if I need to come back to this video, I can always come here into the chat and look at that video. Now, similarly, you probably noticed that for today's meeting, which is this one right here, it already says that recording has started, which I did. I pressed the record button. So now what will happen is, as soon as I end the recording, the same thing will happen. So within a few minutes, I will see today's recording in this window right here. Now, where is this stored though? So it's stored somewhere. We don't really have to worry about it. But just so you know, what it does is it creates a Microsoft Stream video. And what is Microsoft Stream, you may ask? Stream is very similar to YouTube, where you can upload as many videos you want, but it's a part of the whole Office 365 suite, and it's meant to be not public, right? It's meant to be only for your school or for your organization. So anyone who belongs to your entity, they have access to those videos. So just to show you, if I just click this, okay, well, I won't just click it because it'll start playing. But if I click the three dots, you will see that it gives me an option to open it in Microsoft Stream. And I'm going to do that. So when I do that, it opens Microsoft Stream, and this is where it will show me yesterday's video, right? So now I can just, again, if I'm in stream, I can just watch this and take notes and do all sorts of other things. Once I'm in stream, so, as I keep recording my calls, I obviously these videos keep getting created in stream. Now, after a while, I may have all these like videos without any like proper structure, right? So I just have all these videos. But what if I want to like categorize them and I want to group them in certain ways? I can do that here as well. So if I look at these three dots right here, you will see that it says add to group or channels. So if I have, so here, let me just create one. So if I click this create button up on the top, it gives me the ability to create groups, create channels, etc. So I can just say create group, and I'll call it work from home webinar series, right? And and notice how it also gives it an email address as well. And I'm assuming that the rest of it is the domain name. So for example, my domain name is venkatrao.co. So I'm assuming that's what it will be, but I should make sure. I'm not really sure what this three dots is. I can make it private so that people request to join this group, or I can just make it a public group, right? So that anyone can have access to it. And I can add members to this group as well. In my case, in my Office 365, I happen to be the only person. So, and I'm creating this group, so it adds me to this group automatically. But if I had more people, I can add them to this group as well. But once I have all of this filled up, I can just click create, and now it will create that group for me, right? So obviously right now it's empty because I just created it. But if I were to come back and I say, all right, okay, so pause it first, and I say add to group or channel. So I can say search for, what was it, work from home. There it is, right? And there we go. So I can just add it to the work from home channel. So now if I were to go back to the groups and I look at the work from home group, there it is, right? So all the videos that I'll create through these webinars, I'll just keep adding them to this group, and anyone who has access to them, they can just come here and see all the videos together. So it just makes like categorizing and grouping things easier. So they're not just like random videos just floating out there. Very similar to playlists in YouTube. So this was Microsoft Stream. I do also want to show you something very interesting, and I think you will like it if you are perhaps a teacher, you work for a school system, or you're a tutor. To the right here in this interactivity session, there's an option to add a form. And if you look at the description, it says, make your video more engaging by adding a survey, quiz, or poll using Microsoft Forms. Now, what is Microsoft Forms? So let's stop here for a second and talk about Microsoft Forms. Microsoft Forms is also a free Office 365 product. It's a Microsoft product, which you get when you sign up for any like Outlook.com email. And this is something we saw actually yesterday, where I just signed up for at Outlook.com email, and there are certain things I get for free with that email, and Microsoft Forms happens to be one of them. As the name suggests, Microsoft Forms, it's basically used to create forms. In addition, it also lets you create quizzes. You can see that I have a form that I created for this webinar series. One person responded, which is very, very nice of them. But if I were to click it, this is where I gave it some description so that people who are responding, they know what this quiz is for. And then there's some like questions, right? So I add all those questions, and then once it looks good, I can just share it. So when I click this share button, this is where it gives me the option to either just copy this link, or I'm not sure what this is, a QR code, embed form, or even like email right from here. So Okay, opens my Google Gmail by default. But anyway, so you get the idea, right? So this is where like you can create these forms. And in fact, what I did with this form, just to digress a little bit, is I took this form, I took the embed code right from here. So this code right here, and I put it in my assistive technology blog website. So if you look at this, so I created this section called work from home. And if you go to this section, you will see that there's the exact same form that we were looking at 5 seconds ago. And anyone can come here and fill up this form and submit it. So what I did was I just created a page in my WordPress. And so here's the page. And all I did was paste the embed code that I got from Microsoft Forms. That's all I did. And the result of it was this. So you can, if you have the need for interacting with your customers or students or whoever it is that you work with, and there's a need for getting some responses back, here is a free tool that allows you to just create those questions and get responses back also. So if I click the responses area, that's where I will see all the responses that I got from the people who responded to the survey. So this is a very easy yet very effective tool that allows you to just like, again, get input from external people. So what we'll do really quickly, just to test that interactivity aspect of Microsoft Streams. So let's just go ahead and create a form, a new form. And in fact, let's create a quiz. I've actually never created a quiz. So let's try this. So let's start with choice, and we can say, what is Microsoft Teams, right? And we can say collaboration tool, or we can say communication tool. Oops, someone wants to join. 1 second. All right, I have this person in as well. And then we will say, let's add another option here and say both communication, communication and collaboration, right? So, and then which is the right answer? It's this one. Okay, so this is how we tell the quiz which one is the right answer. Let's do one more. Oh, not an option, but let's add a new question. And this time we'll say, how much do you like Microsoft Teams? All right, and here's a rating that this person can give. There's also options like branching, which means that if this question has a specific answer, then jump to something else. Otherwise, go there. Here, we won't go into much details there. You can try it out when you explore Microsoft Forms. But so this is my quiz, right? And here, let me just give it a title. Call it Microsoft Teams Quiz. So once I have it, and let me just go back to Streams here. And in the interactivity area, what it says is add form, right? So if I click the add form button, what it's expecting from me is a form URL. Let's go back to our forms and get the URL by clicking the share button. And here's our URL right here. And it's pretty lengthy and it's all gobbledygook, but all you have to do is click copy, go back to Streams and paste it. All right. And you can give it a name. So we'll say, let's test your knowledge. All right. And you can also tell it when this should come up, right? So here I can move this around a little bit. So now you will see that it automatically knows, it just like adjusts its timeline for the quiz. So now if I want this form to come up around here, or maybe at the end of the video, right? I can just say, all right, add to timeline. Okay, so now what should happen is here, and I'm not sure if it's going to let me because I'm like an admin. But if I were to watch it, here, let's just refresh our browser. So 3452. Okay. So once I go, best thing here is that. Okay, I need to reduce my volume here. Okay, volume down. Let's get closer to 3452. Okay. So see, this is what it does, right? So as you approach that timeline, it just brings up this quiz right on the screen. So now I have to respond. So I can say, okay, so I think it's a collaboration tool, and I select it. And well, obviously that's the wrong answer, but let's just see what it does. And I can say, all right, I love it very much. And I say hit submit. Now it will evaluate those questions and it will give me the results. And then I can continue on with. So looks like it won't really like tell me right away if the response was right or not. I look at the responses, and then here's where it's telling me that first question was wrong because you chose the wrong answer. This is the right option. And then here's my rating and whatnot. But once I have once I've submitted my quiz, I can just continue to video and watch the rest of the video here. So again, it's a very effective tool if you are a teacher or a tutor and you create videos and you want to have an embedded like interactive quiz experience. So you can do that, and you can add as many forms as you want, right? So what we saw just now was a quiz, but maybe at the end of the video, you want to get some input on the content that was presented. So you can probably create a form instead of a quiz, right? And then embed that. So maybe I can just have this form displayed. Let's just try that real quick, or not. That's fine. It takes time. So yeah, so this is how, like, first of all, Microsoft Stream works. It's like your own personal collection of videos that's meant for your organization. It's not meant for public consumption. It's not like YouTube, but anyone within your organization can use these videos for their own consumption. And then second of all, we looked at Microsoft Stream. So, every time there's a need for reaching out to a set of people and getting input from them, or maybe there's a need to test their knowledge, you can create forms and quizzes right from here and share them from the share option. And you have all these multiple share options, like, just send the direct link, email, embed, QR code, etc. And also, finally, you also have the ability to embed these forms within Microsoft Stream as well to provide an interactive experience to your students or your audience. So yeah, this is going to be short and sweet. I think this is where I'll stop for today. But does anyone have any questions? All right. And again, so if you have any questions, anyone has any questions ever, this video will go on YouTube, so feel free to comment there, or you can always message me on at contact@assistivetechnologyblog.com, or find me on LinkedIn or wherever. All right. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this made some bulbs go off in your head. If this interests you, or if you need more information, let me know. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.